Hello, this is Angela with Parker's Permaculture. Welcome back to Housefrau Friday. It is a Thursday morning, actually, here where I am. I just got out of the shower, forgive the wet hair. I'm not going to bother with makeup. I am in my husband's bedroom. Yes, we have separate bedrooms. And I am working on a fiber arts project. So I'm going to be blocking out this shawl that I knitted. I'm going to show you how I do that. First, let me say Housefrau Friday is a regular segment where I talk about domestic skills and philosophy, everything from unschooling to preserving food to fiber arts to practical skills around running a home, because we all have homes. This room used to be our daughter's room, and we have kind of preserved some toys that our kids had when they were little and some my husband had when he was little. So I know this looks like a little girl's room. That's because Ruth and Bee, this was their room when they were 7 and 5, but it's been my husband's room for a long time. And we like the soft purple color, so we've not changed it. The reason that I'm in this room is I don't have a set place to block out my knitting. And so while my husband is at work, I use his bed. And the reason that I do that is because my bed almost always has a kid doing homework in it or multiple dogs. And so here is a safe place to block out my knitting where it will not get disturbed. And by the end of the day, it will be dry enough that I can take it up and be done. So this is a shawl that I finished casting off earlier this morning. I found out that my TikTok had been removed from the Creator Fund, like out of nowhere. I just got a notification, oh, your account has been removed from the Creator Fund for violating guidelines. And I was like, well, that's really weird because I have no strikes on my account. I have no videos that have been demonetized or removed, no videos with strikes on them. And so like that can't be right. That must be a glitch. Sometimes, you know, bullies, harassers will mass report a video or multiple videos. And then when you appeal it, it gets put back up. So I hit appeal, and the second I clicked appeal, it immediately came up, appeal not approved. Your account has been removed from the Creator Fund. Continue to make content. You're a valued member of this community. Please reapply for the Creator Fund in 30 days. So this obviously is like, not going to lie, a brutal blow for us. I have to pay winter tuition for my 2 daughters that are in college. My son is on a scholarship program. It's basically like a early start to college program. So they pay his tuition, but my 2 older daughters, like, I have tuition to pay. So there's nothing I can do. I have emailed legal@tiktok.com. I have tried everything I can. Once your appeal has been denied, like, there's not much I can do for 30 days when I have no violations and I don't know what I did. Multiple other women creators that I follow have been having this experience with either videos getting taken down for no reason, no explanation, or their accounts being demonetized or outright banned. So who knows what that's about. So in my frustration, after submitting a slew of emails and requests to TikToks, and I made a couple of videos for my followers, I did my morning chores, and then I went back to bed with a 4th cup of coffee and finished casting off the edge of this shawl. Good morning, folks. I have actually gone back to bed after doing my chores, and I'm having some more coffee. It has not been a great morning. I found out that my TikTok account has been removed from the Creator Fund, and my appeal was denied in less than 1 second. I had no violations, no videos demonetized or removed, no strikes that would warrant this action. I have no idea what happened. If you are super bored and want to email legal@tiktok.com and ask them to restore my account, that would be awesome. But I did want to show you, since I've gone back to bed, I just finished casting off this shawl that I've been working on for a while. Surprisingly, I get a lot of requests to show more knitting content, so here you go. This was knitted on US 4s with Malabrigo wool. It has beads in the lacework. You can see all the beads in the lacework. Obviously, I have to block this, so it's going to look very different. I'm going to go soak it in Eucalan and pin it out now. Hope y'all are hanging in there. And so now I am blocking it out. So let me show you what that process looks like. I'm not sure what happened to the sound here, but I'm trying to show that before blocking, it's hard to see the pattern. Everything's really scrunched up, and blocking really makes the lacework pop and stretches the shawl out to the size it was supposed to be. Okay, so here it is pre-blocking. Again, it's very tight. It's hard to see
the lace pattern. It looks very small. This looks like a little shawlette. It's gonna block out much bigger. Okay, so the first thing I do is I use a ice cream tub because folks in my family are going to need to use the sink. So I've started blocking in an ice cream tub. So I'm going to run some water. And then this, it says honey, but it's actually eucalyptus. I'll put a little eucalyptus in. I love the smell. So that goes back here. Now I don't want to agitate, so I'm going to take my shawl. I'm going to add it here. And then I'm going to put the bucket here on the counter. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit. Yes, I'm in my pajamas and ignore my shabby bathroom. It's on the list to remodel when we get the funds in the coming years. Okay, so now I am going to take my shawl that has been soaking. And I don't know if you can see from here, I'm going to wring out all the water. You want to wring by squeezing. You don't want to twist and distort those fibers, right? Wool has memory. I'm going to squeeze this out. Now, sometimes the water turns color quite a bit. This has a slight pink tinge to it, but really this wool didn't bleed very much. So I'm going to dump that out. Now, some folks rinse this because, right, I just washed it in eucalyptus, and some folks rinse it really thoroughly. I use such a small amount of eucalyptus, and I really love the eucalyptus scent to it. So unless it looks soapy, sometimes I don't really rinse it. That's just my own preference. Judge me all you want. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to roll it up in a hand towel. Hang on one sec. So I'm going to lay out my hand towel. And I'm going to take my shawl and I'm going to lay it out on the hand towel as best I can. I'm not twisting it. I'm being gentle with my fibers. Firm but gentle. I'm going to roll that up into a tube like so, a little sausage, and then I'm going to squeeze it. Do not twist, squeeze. If I have a large garment, like a very large heavy shawl or a sweater, I will stomp on it on the floor. But I'm wearing wool socks and I don't want to get them damp. I'm just going to squeeze it with my hands because this is a very thin lace shawl. There's not going to be a ton of residual moisture held within those fibers. So now that I have done that, obviously this will go in the laundry. It now smells deliciously sheepy. And then I'm going to pin this out. So I realize, like, in the context of everything going on in the world right now, and everything going on in America right now, right, my little troubles are relatively inconsequential. They're totally inconsequential for everybody else. And even within the scope of our lives, they're inconsequential, but they feel really big right now because we all have reduced bandwidth, right? Like I think I said on TikTok this morning, everything in the background, right? Everything that's happening in our country in the background, all of the fear and anxiety and stress and grief and additional burden that will put on every working class family in America, that reduces our bandwidth to cope well with other things in our lives. And for me, that meant this annoyance on TikTok and the loss of revenue feels outsized. It feels disproportionate because I have limited bandwidth to process it in the way I normally would. And it just feels, I said in another video, it feels like lemon juice in the paper cut, but it just feels like I'm covered with 1,000 paper cuts and, was dunked in a vat of lemon juice. Everything feels bigger. So when that happens, what I try to do is, touch grass. I either go out in the garden and work, or I engage with something meaningful with my hands. I want to get out of my anxiety brain and I want to engage my hands as much as I can and do something that is not doom scrolling, that is not perseverating, but something where I can feel productive and useful and creative and artistic. So for me, that was finishing this shawl. So that's what I'm up to this morning. I'm taking a break from the other things I was going to be doing to work on this. So let me show you this process. along with not bothering to dry my hair or to put on any makeup, I'm in house pants. That's just the way it's going to be. So I have the bed here covered in a wool blanket. I really like to block on top of wool. Some people use foam pads on the floor or blocking mats. I have a small house and I don't have room to store everything. So sorry, I'm cut off a little bit here. So I will be blocking this out on the bed. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. You can see already how much larger this is than when I started out. It's going to be big. It's going to be a big boy. Okay. My setup, excuse the horrible lighting. I'm in my husband's bedroom and this is his bed. And this is the only place I have to pin out shawls or garments that I'm blocking. So I have an old wool blanket. This was my grandmother's. I think it's from the late 40s. And then I have my blocking pins and I have blocking wires. Now I ordered these from Knit Picks 10 years ago probably, and they came really crunched. You can see that it's not, it got bent pretty good in the shipping. These still work as blocking wires. 2 of them are so bent that there's a lot of times I can't use them, but I am a big fan of blocking wires in general. Blocking wires, T-pins. Let's get this blocked out. So I'm just weaving it in and out. Until I get to the center mark. So I'm going to weave this all on one and then the other half on another. This may not be the way everybody does blocking wires, but it's how I do them. And I knit a lot of shawls. I don't generally use blocking wires for garments other than shawls. If you want to know what I do with my shawls, when my mother was alive, I knitted her a shawl every year for her birthday and another one for Christmas. I knitted shawls for her cancer support group. I knit them for gifts. I also have probably 40 or 50 in my collection, which I'm thinking about downsizing. I don't know if I'll do a sale or a raffle or like a, charitable auction or something, because I typically only wear about 8 or 10 of them on the regular. Plus I have all the ones I inherited from my mother that I made her. So I have a lot. So I've hit the midpoint, and you can see when it blocks, it pulls out longer like this. And so the whole point is I'm stretching the fabric out and having it take the shape I want instead of the kind of coiled up shape that it has before blocking. So you will always need more wires than you expect. Because just like when you have a baby and it's hard to get their arm into a sleeve, and they tell you think about bending the garment to fit around your child's arm. Don't think about trying to force your kid's arm into their onesie or their leg into their onesie. This is the same. I'm thinking about bending the fabric over the wire, not about moving the wire through the fabric. I'm just moving back and forth. So the idea of blocking is to pull the shawl open and let the lace pattern really show, right? It's to let all those yarn overs and lacy holes really shine. Oh my God, I got to the end. Okay. Oh my God, I got to the end. Okay. So I have my 2 pins. I'm gonna take I like these T-pins. Okay. And I typically have to go diagonal on the bed to fit a shawl. I start in the middle. And I put a pin. I always do the top edge of the shawl first, the straight edge, and then do the lacy edge next. The lacier the section, the more it will stretch. Okay. Again, sorry the lighting is terrible in here. So there's the top. There's the top all pinned out. And you see how it really opens up all of these eyelets here on both sides. It'll really open those up and show those off. Now I want to make sure that I have it stretched about the same length on both sides. I am not persnickety enough to measure, but some folks do. So now I want to pin out the bottom. So I've done the top, and I'm going to stretch and pin out the bottom. Okay, I'm going to start in the middle. I'm going to find the middle. Right, so here's unblocked. Of the shawl. Looks like this. Pulled out and blocked. You can see the lace pattern is much more evident, including the beads. So I'm going to just find the point. Really here's a row of beads. The ends, how you want them to look, right? And then that's where I'm going to pin. You can make them rounded or pointy depending on how many pins you put in. I tend to like a nice crisp point, but it's really a matter of personal preference how you want to block it. And I tried. It's all blocked out. What I'm going to do now is let it dry for the rest of the day. And then I will unpin it and it will hold its shape. One of the things I love about wool is that it has memory. I prefer to think of it as not just, physical memory, that it holds its shape after you wash the fibers and stretch them. It will keep this beautiful stretched out lace shape, but I also like to think it holds the memory of the person who made the garment, or, like how I wear my mom's sweaters, or my kids wear sweaters that my grandmother knitted for me and my mother. I like to think that it holds the memory of the maker as well. So thanks for watching today. Please don't forget to click like and subscribe. I hope this video will upload. I continue to have problems with most of my YouTube videos being rejected at 80%, or just saying like failure to upload. And that's really frustrating. It makes it difficult for me to want to upload my videos if it takes days to get them uploaded and repeated failures, during which time I cannot use my phone because I have to use my phone to upload videos. So editing Angela here to say that no, this video did not in fact upload smoothly. It took me over a day and a half and repeated, corrupted, and errored videos to finally get it to upload. So I'm sorry, it's going to be coming out late, not on Friday. I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I will show you what this looks like at the very end, and hopefully it will upload by tomorrow. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, there won't be any glitches, and it will upload okay in time for House File Friday tomorrow. Again, click like and subscribe. Please go follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers on Instagram so I can monetize. And thank you for your continued support. I am grateful for all of the folks who continue to support the work that I do, and I hope that you all are hanging in there in this tough time. Okay, bye-bye.